Do you ever get that pain in your lower back? You know that one, like right? Yeah, you can't see it. Right at the top of your butt, right where your butt and your back come together. Do you ever get that pain? You know what? It might not be your back. So, as a personal trainer over the last 12 or 13 years, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people, from consultations to onboarding new clients. And the reality is you take these moments with people and you share with them, and you think that there's an infinite number of things that you can talk about. And inevitably, so often I get this conversation that I got this pain right in my lower back. So what's interesting about this conversation is I can ask some really simple questions and get to the heart of the matter really fast. So the number one question I ask is, have you ever had a diagnosed problem? Have you ever had a doctor tell you that you have a problem with your back? And the question almost invariably is answered no. Out of all the clients that I've ever seen, out of all the consultations that I've ever done over the last 13 years, I've had exactly two people say, yes, I've got a back problem that was a diagnosed problem. So the second question I ask is, okay, well, maybe you haven't had it diagnosed, but have you had an injury that causes some sort of problem in your back? And almost everybody says no. So when you get there, the next question is, okay, well, why do you think you have this problem? And invariably the answer is, I have no idea. That's why I'm talking to you. So the next question that I ask is, what do you do for activity? What could you possibly be doing that would cause this? And they say, I don't work out. What I do for exercise is I go for walks. And I go, next question, where do you walk? And so often the answer is dead pan flat. So the very next question I have to ask is, what have you done recently for your walks? And if they've been telling me in this meeting that their lower back hurts, almost always the answer is, yeah, we didn't walk flat this weekend. We did a hike up a really steep hill. We went into San Francisco and we walked up a really steep street. We did a lot of stairs in some famous location. Everything is related to going up. So number one, what is the most important muscle in the body? And if we look through all the responses to this, I'm sure we'd have all kinds of arguments that there's not one single muscle in the body that is the most important. However, there's one most important muscle in your body, and it's the glute. Now let me explain. As you walk through the day on flat ground, what you do is you activate most dominantly your quad and your calf. Your hamstring and your glute, the stuff that pulls your leg backwards, you can get by with very rarely using it. So as you continue to walk on flat ground and you continue to underuse your glute's not ready to be activated. Your brain doesn't want to activate it, and it's weak. So now you go walking upstairs where your glute has to be part of the equation. And then you walk up hills where your glute has to be part of the equation. And what are you going to do? You're going to strain the glute. Well, your glute is this muscle, and at the top of it, it attaches. And at the bottom, it attaches. And generally, it's at the top where that turns the tendon and attaches into your lower back. That's where we generally feel the pain. So this weekend warrior theory that we have in so many other ways applies to this. You've not used it, then you go out and you use it not knowing, and you come back with a pain in your lower back. But because it's in our lower back, we think, what can it be? It's my back. So it comes down to these three muscles that are the most misunderstood. It's the glute, it's the abs, and it's the lats. And today we're just talking about the glute because we're talking about pain in your lower back. But the reality is, all three of these muscles, because they're so misunderstood, we have to take time to understand them, to use them properly, and they support our body so much. But think about just the glute, what we're talking about right now. The glute is in the middle of the body. It's the largest muscle in the body. It attaches in the lower back, attaches down on the leg, has a little bit of a multifunction. but it sets everything. If you have pain in your lower back because of your glute, it causes you to change your movement in so many other ways. It changes your hip movement, it changes your knee movement, it changes your ankle movement, it changes how your spine is aligned and how you walk. So if you maintain strong glute and you maintain flexibility in your glute and hamstring, if you figure out how to move properly and keep those things strong and healthy, everything down and everything up from the glute is all the better. So it's the biggest muscle, it's the strongest muscle, it's really should be one of the most used muscles, and it gets very neglected. So what's next? First of all, you got to take care of it. If it's strained, you got to rest it. If it's balled up and knotted up, then you got to massage it. Foam rolling provides the pressure point release or the myofascial release or the kneading of the area that will allow you to get the relief that you need from that muscle. The piriformis, for so many other reasons, creates or is a contributor to the pain that we have, sciatic pain, hip pain. Again, some aspects of that are very easily handled. So again, the glute, center of the body, largest muscle, and can be most problematic because we don't actually know what it is. So the glute sits on the back of the body. The glute is not just a cushion to sit on. It actually activates the hip movement and forces the hip backwards, which propels you forwards. If we move properly over the ground, our bodies last that much longer. So, recap. If you got pain in your lower back, if it's not diagnosed, if you don't have a spinal problem, if the only thing you've done to cause pain is walk uphill, do a piriformis foam roll, and I guarantee you that if that's the problem, you're going to get relief immediately. And it can take some time to work back if it's a tendon strain or if there's some sort of a larger tissue injury there. But the reality is, if there's pain related to that tendon, to that muscle, you can deal with it and you can get rid of it, and it has nothing to do with the strained back. So, lower back, foam roll the piriformis, move from there. Thanks.